My story of what I have. So in the next 20 minutes or so, I would like to take you.
Welcome, Earthlings. Great. So it's an amazing feeling to be in orbit for the first time. When I looked out through the window for the first time, the view of the sun. Oh wow, what a night it was. But when the night started, it was something. Like you really pushed back into the sea. It was an amazing night. And then suddenly, nothing. It was an amazing feeling. We also want to thank you for basically thanks to everyone around the world and every person of the team who made this beautiful day happen.
Chris Crew, welcome aboard the International Space Station. Peggy, welcome back. It's a great honor and privilege to have such a legendary astronaut on board with us. And Thibaut, Shukla, and Swab, congratulations on your first space flight.
Thank you to all participants at the station. We are now resuming operational audio communications.
I travel to space with the dreams of a billion hearts with me. I want them to live this journey with me because I feel that it is equally great and it is fun. Because I feel that this is truly the journey of an entire nation.
A group where we can go, where we work together on common platform called Common Science, and sky is no longer the limit. We can explore space, we can explore science, we can explore technology and build new solutions for the future.
The Explore crew came here with a purpose and a really busy agenda. This was a great mission and we enjoyed it the most. So now we will return home and we will spread the word in our countries that these things are within our reach. These things are possible even for smaller countries like ours.
It's always great to work with a bunch of professionals, which you are, but it's even more special to work with folks that have become our friends, and even more deeply. Thank you.
Thank you to the Axiom 4 crew. And we have splashdown of the AX4 crew back on planet Earth.
Welcome home.
I think it's really important to have these examples of people to show the new young generation that actually there are no boundaries. Your dreams, your careers, your lives have no limits. This is what you dream of, that you can pursue.
Exciting, isn't it? I've tried to compress this entire journey of 20 days into a few minutes to just give you a glimpse of what it is all about. Now, how much of training it takes, what do we go, what do we do up there, and how we come back. I will highlight certain aspects of this mission during the next 15-20 minutes to tell you, first, it is very interesting to go to space, and second, it is also difficult. It is also challenging. So you have to work for it, you have to prepare yourself for it. So let us hope we will go through this presentation and learn a few lessons at the completion of it. Now last time, a few days ago, I was again in a conference organized by the Department of Science and Technology. I said a lot of things like how I'm going to say today, but the thing that was caught on was how I said that space was easier than navigating Bangalore traffic. So I will not be commenting on traffic at all today. We will talk only about space and move forward from there. Next, please. So before talking about my mission in particular, why do we go for exploration? Most of the people who are sitting in this audience are kids. And I feel kids inherently are very curious. They ask questions. So initially there is a stage, when parents are worried that kids are not speaking. At least I was worried for my son. When he was 2, he was not speaking. And I was really worried that he's going to speak late. But then he picked up and he started speaking. And now the problem is that he won't keep quiet. So the issue is that kids are very curious mind. They want to know why for everything. Why does this happen like this? Why does that happen like that? And I think that's a very basic requirement of human nature. It is a quality, I would say. It is not a requirement. And that is what makes us explore. And when we explore, we find solutions to problems which we didn't even know was possible. And I think that is the biggest advantage of having this curiosity alive even as you grow up. Also, traveling to space gives you a very unique perspective. So when we are training for spaceflight, you are prepared very well. People tell you, they show you videos. People who have been there, they come back and share their experiences. They tell you of how it was. So you feel really prepared when you go for mission. But the fact is that when you do go, it is actually very different. It is not the same. Because you have not experienced it. And that environment that you have not experienced, it is very difficult to imagine. You cannot imagine. So when you go there, it gives you very different or very unique perspective, some of which we will be talking about today. Next one, please. So very quickly, just look at the difference in the capsules that are taking humans to space. On the left, you see the first capsule that took Yuri Gagarin in 12th April 1961 to space. And on the right is the Soyuz, which takes humans to space today. The next one, please. And this is on the American side, the first capsule that went, the Mercury capsule. And on the right is the capsule in which I went. A lot has changed. How it was, how it is now. A lot of technology has gone in. A lot of experiences that we have learned over decades have gone into developing something like this. Why it is important is because we are developing our own Gaganyaan capsule or Gaganyaan mission. And the lessons that we have learned from all of this, from our training in Russia and in the US, all those lessons are being used to refine what we are going to make and in which we are going to send somebody to space from India. Next one, please. So like I said, let's move on to the launch. You saw the rocket launch, going up slowly, gradually in the video. But it is not slow, it is not gradual, I can tell you from experience. I thought that I have a familiarity to this particular phase of flight because I am a fighter pilot. I have flown fighter aircraft most of my life. But when the ignition happened, the 9 engines of Falcon 9, when they came on, everything I knew just went outside the window. All the training just I forgot. Now almost similar to when you get question papers in your exam. All the preparation that you have, you just forget. Now this is out of syllabus, But it is very powerful and very quick. I did not imagine it to be that powerful. So that was lesson number 1. Because imagine this, if you can, you are going from 0 kilometers per hour to 28,500 kilometers per hour in 8.5 minutes. That is the kind of acceleration that you experience when you are sitting in the rocket. It is massive and it is sustained for about 8.5 minutes. Now when you do experience this acceleration, your body actually experiences it, feels it. And what happens is that when right now all of you are sitting on chairs, so you are also experiencing acceleration, that is 1g. But you don't feel it because you get used to it. But if I was to increase this, you will feel it. So in fighter cockpit also, you feel the g load when you are turning with more g's, you feel that acceleration from your head to toe. So when you are under higher g's, all the blood from your head, it goes down to your legs. And so there are exercises, there are G suits that you wear so that you prevent it from going down, because if there is no blood in your head, you will become unconscious at some point of time, which happens during flying sometimes. But then when you relax, the blood comes back and then you start flying again. The issue with the space flight is that if you are aborting at a higher altitude, you will be subjected to about 18 to 20 Gs. That means 18 to 20 times the force that you are experiencing now. It is almost like a baby elephant sitting on your chest. That is the kind of force you will experience. So your spine cannot take it. It will collapse. So the seats are reclined so that you experience this through your chest. The body has more tolerance in this axis. But the problem is when this gets compressed, you can't breathe. So you have to push your stomach. So these are all techniques that have evolved over a period of time. Can we go on to the next one? And breathe again. So this what you see is the GX through your chest.
Yes. Yes. 6 years. 7 years. 8 years. 30 seconds, sir.
Now this, what you saw, is the GX through your chest. And if you would see, I am opening my mouth at regular intervals. I am trying to exhale forcefully, so that inhalation happens as a passive exercise. The next, the previous one, and play the next video. This is GZ.
15 seconds now. Start track. Let's go to it live. Go for it now. 1, 2, 3, breathe. 1, 2, 3, breathe. 1, 2, 3, breathe. 1, 2, 3, breathe. 1, 2, strain hard, breathe. Maintain, record, breathe. 1, 2, 3, breathe. 1, 2, 3, breathe. 1, 2, 3, offload, conditioning, offload, conditioning, offload, making look at.
So the other video that you saw was the GZ, which is from head to toe. And I told you I was at 8G in the left one, the GX. Can you guess what was the G on the right? Which one was more difficult according to you? The right side. So what was the G in that? It was 7 Gs, less than the one on the left one, the GX. So that is how difficult it is, you know. So when you see a launch, you know, from sitting from outside, and you are going to study about all this, pay attention, understand how much goes into making something happen. This is just one aspect that I am picking up. Now imagine if I have to do something, if I have to operate a button, my hand becomes 8 times heavier. To take my hand to just operate a button, that becomes challenging. So all these are very nuanced and very complex things that have to be kept in mind when you're planning for a mission. Next one, please. So now you do all that and now you reach space. You saw our video, we gave small speeches from space. But space is two things. First, I can tell you, it is a lot of fun. You know, you are essentially swimming in air. You know, how if you have swam in water, it takes effort. But swimming in air, it's effortless. It is very easy. But the second thing, it is very disorienting. So on ground, you have a very strong sense of up and down, left or right. But in space, that sense goes. There is no up and down or something. So if after some time you are upside down, you won't even know. You would, you know, not feel that this has happened. I remember during the first few days, I was very hesitant, or I was trying to maintain that sense of orientation as we have on Earth. So if there is a module and there is, let's say, a floor, there is no floor, but let's say a floor and a roof and walls on the side. And if there was a NASA astronaut working on one of her experiments, so there was no way for me to go past her. So I sat down and I was waiting. There is this other NASA astronaut who came to me, what happened, Shubh, you're waiting? I said, yes, she's in the way. And she started laughing. And she took my hand, took me to the ceiling and said, walk here. And, you know, it takes time for your mind to register that this is possible. So then you start walking on ceilings, you start walking on walls, you start walking wherever. Like, you use the 3D space completely. But that change has to come. Your mind has to understand that this is possible. And the other thing that happens is your understanding of microgravity itself. No, it is not that there is no gravity in space. There is gravity. We are very close to Earth. But you are in a free fall around the Earth. So you don't experience gravity. Everything is falling. I am falling, the station is falling, everything inside the station is also falling. So if I was to take this paper and leave it in microgravity, it will stay here. It will not fall down relative to me because it is already falling with me. But your mind doesn't know that. So I was very hesitant to let go of anything. And if I have to leave something and do work on something, I would search for someone and ask them, can you please hold this for me? And I had 2 first-time flyers with me. They would also hold it. And so all of us are floating in space. Everybody is falling, but they would also hold it and stand next to me and till the time I finish something. So this takes time for your mind to adjust. Can you move to next, play the video. Look at this. This is an example of what I just told you.
Let's take
So you say it is possible to leave things, and I'm sure that when I was leaving those lens and camera, some of you must have felt it will go. That is exactly how you feel in the initial few days. But then after 7-8 days, you become really comfortable. You leave things, you work, and then you grab things and you come back. The problem happens that you come back to Earth with this concept in mind. And I remember the first evening I was working on my laptop and I was replying to some mails, and instinctively sitting on the bed, I closed the laptop, took it to the side, and I left it. Very quick course correction, instant feedback you get, your mind gets, no, this is not going to work here. But the important aspect is your mind is really a very powerful tool. It can make you believe things that are not there, happening around you. It is really something extremely powerful, and it needs some training to get adjusted to this new and unique environments. Next one, please. The other interesting concept about space is the concept of weightlessness. There is no weight in space. You can lift 200 kgs, 300 kgs, you can move it slowly. It is not a problem at all. It is very easy. But mass is there, so you have to be really careful of how you move things, how you move it around. Something we'll see in this video next. So before you play, this is my commander, Dr. Peggy Whitson, who is the most experienced American astronaut as of now. She has spent 695 days in space. And we used to joke that she breaks the record of some of the satellites that are out there, in terms of space. But she is here demonstrating, she's moving a heavy bag, or huge bag, which is used to transport a lot of heavy equipment. So just look at how it feels. Okay.
Very nice. Be very careful though, because you have to control the mass. You don't see that. If you get away from it, is it to be careful? Incredible letter.
So you see almost 250 kgs of weight. So easy to lift, but you have to be really careful when you move things. The space station construction was possible because of this attribute of space. There are such heavy equipment that goes, your modules cannot be just sent into space. All the equipment inside gets sent separately in different missions. So once the structure is there, these payload racks, this heavy equipment was transferred later on and installed there by the astronauts. Next one, please. A lot of changes happens to your body when you go to space because your body has never seen this environment. It is a lack of gravity. So all the fluid from your leg, it moves to your head. It becomes bigger. As you can see, the image on the right, on your right, is you will see my head. It looks kind of swollen. It happens for the first few days. Your heart slows down because it doesn't have to work against gravity. I didn't check my heart rate while I was in space, but when I came back, my resting heart rate increased to 94, which is generally in the range of 58 to 60. You are floating in space, but everything inside your stomach is also floating, so you don't feel hungry. I did not feel hungry for about 3 to 4 days at all. I had to force feed myself, and thereafter your body gets used to it and you understand, and it becomes normal. You also become taller in space. You're very excited. Some of you, I say, are happy to hear this news. I was also very excited, that I'll go and I'll gain some height. You do. I gained about 5 to 6 centimeters of height when I was in space. But the problem is when you again come back to Earth, you come back to your original height. So it is not a lasting change. The only thing you get is back pain twice. Once when you are growing taller, once you are coming back. You don't use your muscle space at all. It is effortless, like I told. Right now, even when we don't feel it, you are sitting on chairs, walking, getting up, everything, your muscles are being used because you are opposing gravity. In the space or microgravity environment, there is no gravity to counter. So you don't use your muscle at all. In my 20 days of stay, I lost 5 kgs of weight, out of which 4.2 was muscle mass. That is the kind of degradation that happens such rapidly in just a short span of time. Next one, please. Then there are psychological challenges. You are in a confined environment. You know the dangers that are there outside. And whatever you do, there are always some alarms going on, some caution going on. Sometimes it's a fire warning, sometimes it's a pressure leak that is going to trigger, and sometimes a collision that is going to happen because of space debris. And it happens. Most of the times it is benign and you don't have to respond to it to the maximum level, but the threat is real. You understand the risk. So when you plan for your own space missions, especially for long duration missions, you have to address these psychological challenges. How do you prepare the crew to deal with this, to navigate this? They are on their own. They have no idea, no help from anywhere. They have to tackle everything within that, with the resources that are there. So how do you prepare for that? And that is why the training becomes a really important part. Next one, please. Okay, this I've talked about. Next one. So you do all that, and then there's time for you to come back. So all the energy that you gain, the 28,500 kilometers per hour, has to be dissipated now. And you use your atmosphere to dissipate it. So when you come back, the capsule, due to the atmosphere, it generates friction, drag, because of which it slows down. But the speed is so much that it heats up. And when it heats up, when I say heat up, it is not a few hundred degrees, it is in thousands. Around 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit is the temperature outside the capsule. So your capsule is covered in a big fireball, huge fireball, and you can see the fire, from the windows that are there in the Crew Dragon. And I remember we were very excited to look at it. How does it look, this fireball? So it changes colors, all types of colors, orange, green, blue, red, everything you see outside, and then it becomes a steady stream of orange and red. But what was interesting was that going up also we experienced about 4.8 G, and coming back also we experienced about 4.8 G. But this time it feels much more because your body is not used to it. It was used to an environment of microgravity. I remember even opening my eyes, my eyelids were feeling heavy. I could feel that I had to put in effort to open my eyes. 0.3, 0.4 G feels like 2 to 3 Gs. That is the kind of difference that happens. And then when you are out of this plasma is the time you are in the atmosphere, and that is the time your parachutes are deploying. And every parachute deployment, when the drogue deploys, it feels somebody has hit you from the back. It's that kind of a noise because the pyros get fired, and then there is a jerk, and then the main parachute, and then finally when you splash down on the water, which is the biggest of all the impact. Next one. Once you have splashed down in water, the story doesn't end. You have to survive after that. So you prepare for nominal as well as off-nominal scenarios. What if there is a leak? What if you have to get out of the capsule very fast? All that is a part of a training. I remember that there was one scenario wherein the four of us, the crew of four, we were given a situation that there is a leak in the capsule and you have to go out of the capsule as soon as you splash down, under 3 minutes, within 3 minutes. So we had to throw the life vest, the life raft out, we have to throw the satellite phone out, we have to wear the personal safety vest, and then we have to jump out one by one, 4 of us. And I remember we could do it in 2.5 minutes. It was not easy, but it was a part of the training. But something that I learned in hindsight was that when you come back from space, you are not as active and as muscular as you were when you were going to space. Coming back, it is even challenging for you to walk straight, for you to get up. Something. Can you go on to the next? Show the video. Yeah, play this one. Okay, I think that there is some issue with the video, but if you would see this, you would find me struggling to walk straight. I'm moving left or right and falling down. You cannot walk the minute you come out. You will fall down. Because again, your brain has forgotten how much effort it takes for you to stop from falling down. How many muscles do you have to activate to stop from falling down? So under those conditions, how do you ensure that within 3 minutes the crew will get out? Again, a huge challenge, a big challenge. Small things, but have a very big impact. So what it entails is what is shown on the screen. All of this has to be done before you can launch someone to space. And I'm just only touching the surface of an iceberg. If I can put that analogy in place, it's a lot of things that you have to take care of. It's a lot of things that you have to plan, and also plan what if this doesn't work. What will we do then? So the design becomes extremely challenging. Next one, please. Okay. I will just take 2 minutes to explain to all of you where are we standing as a country right now. So India is on its own path of executing human space missions. Our latest space vision was, the policy came out in 2023. It clearly lays down that we will execute mission Gaganyaan, which is sending some humans to space, bring them back. We'll also have our own space station, Bharatiya Antariksh Station, which is being built right now. It's under discussion phase. And then eventually an Indian landing on the moon by 2040. It's a very exciting time to be in this country at this point of time. And I'm sure one of you would be possibly, who sets foot on the moon, he or she. But I'm still here, I'm not going, so you will have to compete with me, to go to moon. We will be in competition. But I'm saying it is a very exciting time, it just gives you the energy of what are we doing as a nation. We are launching from our own soil, on our own launch vehicle, in our own capsule, and India will go to space and come back. I think it's a magnificent time to be here in this country. And as a segue, now I will use this and tell you one thing that I've not spoken about is how does Earth look from space, which is what I would like to show you next. It is a bright future for our country. I'm very excited about all the possibilities that the country is going to provide us. And you are all going to be recipients of it. So, I have a video that we are flying over India, and I will be showing you that. It's a night pass. We are coming from the Indian Ocean, which is from the southwest side, and we'll be going to the northeast side. And the most beautiful thing in that entire India pass you will see is the Bangalore city. It's the brightest city in the southern parts of our country, and that stands out, really stands out. You will also see flashes going on, which are essentially thunderstorms or lightning that are happening on Earth, which is very clearly visible from space. And towards the end, you will also see an orbital sunrise, how it looks when sunrise happens in space. So let us have a look at that video. So the green glow that you see is the curvature of the Earth, and the top of the stars, and bottom is the Earth. See the flashes? These are all thunderstorms. This is India emerging, and the brightest city that you see is Bangalore in the south. And then there is Hyderabad and Pune on the left. And look at all the lightning that is happening so rapidly. And this is the sunrise. Next one, please. So like I said, the future is really bright. Are you excited looking at this? Was it good? How many of you would want to go to space and see this? Fantastic. That is what we want, to go to space and see this. And I'm very happy, and I would thank all the ministers are raising their hands, sitting here. I'm very happy and very excited to see the kind of enthusiasm that is being created around this sector. And I would thank the government and all the bureaucrats who are making it happen. And sir, you said that you would like me to be involved and do this. I would say that I'm always available. This is one of my mandate and job. Please let us make this happen together. We have great ambitions and great vision as a country. Landing on moon by 2040, Viksit Bharat 2047. But it will not happen on its own. So my message to all of you kids is, please be an active participant. Think that I will take India from here to being Viksit Bharat in 2047, because it is going to be your time, not ours. And in the end, I would like to only say, Honorable Minister was mentioning that on top of this world, our sky is not the limit. I said something similar from space, which I would like to reproduce here. Sky was never the limit. Not for me, not for you, and not for Bharat. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you.